Hi, it's Richard Bromwell here from Charterhouse Auctioneers, and we're going to have a bit of a look and a talk through some of the fantastic classic and vintage cars we've got coming up in our auction at Haynes International Motor Museum on Thursday the 15th of July. Now, first up, this is a car I've never sold before. It's a Davrian. There we go. It's a kit car. It was bought 2 years ago and dismantled, and rear engine with a Hillman imp engine in it. And sadly, this is now from a deceased estate and is being offered sale without reserve. So if you fancy doing a bit of hill climbing or having some fun, that's certainly for you. Another bit of fun here is a Studebaker, making a very rare appearance at auction here. The Studebaker Commander, owned by a famous Radio 1 DJ. There we go. And value on that one probably around about the £15,000, and that ran very well upon inspection. Also, another great car is the VW Corrado. It's the VR6, that's the one you like, and again, sensibly estimated around about sort of £5,000 to £6,000. A little bit more money, and certainly a hooligan car here. This is a 2003 Noble M12 GTO with the additional 3R. So it's a 3R, so it's even super hooligan. Low ownership, it's only got 2 owners, under 20,000 miles, about 185 miles an hour, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Sadly, only for sale due to ill health, and that's estimated between sort of £36,000 and £38,000. Now, we always like to have a few Land Rovers, and we've got the selection of Land Rovers coming up here. We've got the Ambulance, we've got the Series 3, and look at these, you've got the lovely sort of mossy green. That's a Stage 1 V8. We've got a Series 1, another Series 1 which is perfectly restored. So lots of great choice of Land Rovers there. And estimates on those from around about the sort of the £5,000 upwards. Again, a lot more money is the Ferrari 456, the GTA. Throughout all the years this has been owned, it's had around about £90,000 lavished on it. And this one here is estimated around about the £40,000. Also about the £40,000 is this rather beautiful Porsche Targa Sports. Here we go, the 911, and lots of optional extras, including air conditioning, so really nice to see that. And again, this was bought just a couple of years ago now, sadly, from the same deceased estate as the Davrian, and that's, as I say, that's estimated around about the sort of £40,000. Next up is the Jag, the XK8. This actually is a really nice XK8. We've seen and sold many of these over the years. Sadly, it's silver. This should have been gold because this was owned by, yes, Spandau Ballet's Gary Kemp, and he owned it for about sort of 14 years, so long-term ownership. Also making another appearance and taking on a really nice and bright and sunny day is this wonderful Triumph TR6. Manual overdrive, it's got leather, it's got walnut, everything there, all the bells and whistles there, and that's around about £20,000 in a properly sorted car. For the same money, you can also buy at Wilson. This is Wilson, the VW camper, and again, he's very well presented. He's got an awning, and he's ready to hit the road and go camping with that. Another car, long-term ownership, is the 1962 Jaguar E-Type, the fixed-head coupe here. It's a 3.8, and this was bought in about 1981 by the owner as a pile of bits for £1,500. Now, beautifully restored, this is estimated around about sort of £65,000 to £75,000. And another restored car, also in red, this time it's actually Verona red, is a very late entry. It's the BMW, the 1974 BMW 3-litre CSL, yes, L for lightweight, and the estimate on that is around about £100,000. A bit cheaper, but still very expensive new. We've got a little run of Bentleys. Here we go. We've got the Bentley Turbo R, estimated around about 8 to 10,000. We've got the Bentley Continental R, around about 25,000. Those two are from the same owner. And also we've got a Bentley Arnage, which is estimated around about the £12,000. We've got a couple of lightweight, small commercials. I've always been a great sort of fan of the Bedford CA. Again, that's from a collection of Bedford CA vans down in Devon. And we've got a nice little Morris Minor pickup, probably one of the rarer Morris Minors you'll ever come across. And the Morris Minor is estimated around about £10,000. We've also got a brace of Frog Eye Sprites. There we go. I think they must have been breeding. The first one is the green one here. Again, this is from a deceased estate up in Wales. Estimate on that around about £10,000 to £12,000. And the red one here, which comes from Somerset, again, formed part of a car collection. And that was bought, I think, from memory in about 1980 and subsequently restored. Estimate on that around about the sort of £12,000 to £14,000. More money though, we've got a group of fast Fords. So we've got the Cosworth here. There we go. Low ownership, low miles, under 50,000 miles. Beautifully presented, really nice, straight, honest and original car. An estimate around about 18 to 22,000. I think that's going to make a lot more money than that. Without reserve though is the Ford Escort RS Turbo, lady owned. She's only for about 10 or 12 years, and she's only had it MOT'd once during that time, and she's moving house, and that's being for sale without reserve. Ford Cortina, here we go. It's got a green stripe. Yes, it's a Lotus, the Mark II Cortina. Again, from a car collection, he's having a bit of a thin out because he just doesn't use them. An estimate on that round about sort of the £27,000. For £7,000 less is the iconic Ford Escort Mark I, an RS2000. Yes, an original RS2000. It's got its Ford AVO plate. It's got all the bits and pieces, such as the reinforced struts. And again, a rare opportunity here, probably one of the last remaining unrestored RS2000s. It's also from the last month of production. Estimate on that round about £20,000. Other end of the scale, well, we've got the little Ford Anglia 105e. No, it's not the Harry Potter car, but it is actually one family owned from new. I think this is 1965, and this originally was in South Africa, but only two family members have owned it. Estimate sort of £5,000 to £7,000. Next up is the Aston Martin, the DB9, the Volante, and this is estimated around about the £25,000, having had a bill from Aston Martin of Bristol recently, back in December, for £26,000. So hopefully some good value for someone there. And rather like the Land Rovers, we've got a lot of Minis in the sale as well. We've got the Mini Countryman, lovely there, beautifully restored. That's got restoration bills for about £19,000. And the estimate on that is 13 to 14,000. We've got the little Mini Cooper. We've got the little Mini Ritz. We've got a lovely little mini pickup van, again, one of the rare ones with Buddy the dog. We had to get Buddy the dog in here. And then we've got a couple of Mini Cooper S's. We've got the almond green Mini Cooper S, and then we have the tweed grey Mini Cooper S. And finally, we have one of the Mini 30s. And don't we all remember those when they came out in 1989? And just to run at the sale now, again, we've got quite a few sort of MGs. First up is the MGA with the one of the lady owners. Again, this has been family owned, and that's it looking better. And now we've got the photograph as we found and discovered it in the garage. That was from a deceased estate and is being sold without reserve. Next up, the MGB. No, someone hasn't shut the bonnet on the toolbox. It's got a V8 conversion by the owner, and estimate on that around about 4,000 to 5,000. And finally, to end up with two fast MGs now, and this is from an owner down near Weymouth. First up, the MGC. He's an engineer, and beautifully running car. Went out for a drive in these. Sadly, it was dark and wet and windy. First the MGC, and then the fast road MG Midget as well. And again, lots of tricks on those. So there's a bit of a look through the classic car auction. We've got about 70 cars in there over at Haynes, and hopefully we'll see you there.